Hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to the trip to the Air Force Museum on Tuesday. I hope you're excited about it, and I want to give you a few things to think about as we look forward to that and as you go through the museum. The National Museum of the U.S. Air Force is an amazing place. I used to live in Maryland and Virginia and have been to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in Washington a number of times. But in many ways, I think the Air Force Museum in Dayton is superior to that institution. Of course, it is a military museum. It is the museum of the U.S. Air Force. But military aviation has been of interest since before the Wright brothers. And when the Wright brothers succeeded in building and testing their flyer, the U.S. Army was an early customer for the Wright brothers' work and services. So through the early years of the 20th century, through World War I and beyond, there was a growing interest in aviation as a new field of military affairs. The U.S. Air Force was established after World War II, 1947, as a separate military service. So it is now 75 years old. And from around that time to today, aircraft development has, to make a pun, really taken off. And it is an amazing enterprise. And I hope that you can keep this in mind as you go through the museum. As you tour it, keep in mind that every aircraft, every engine, every single element of them all is in some way a product of engineering, and it is so on several levels. The aircraft airframes, their engines, every door, every piece of landing gear, every switch, every other component of it is certainly now a product of engineering and of the craftsmen that build and maintain and operate these aircraft. So the production systems that produce them is itself an engineered product. Everything from the handcrafted airplanes of the early 20th century to those that have been produced by the thousands through World War II and to today. The systems by which those aircraft are developed is a product of engineering thought. Systems engineering is the field that allows us to coordinate the work of many, many different organizations and thousands of people that design, produce, operate, and sustain weapon systems through their service lives. Think of the B 52, which first flew before I was born, and it's yet is still operating, and the Air Force is in the process of upgrading that aircraft to operate for several more decades. And then finally, just think of science and technology as central elements of the American story, of American society, and our ideas of progress. So, military and commercial aviation, space, all kinds of other related fields are affected by what you will see at the Air Force Museum. So, it is a wonderful place, it is a wonderful story, and at the same time, it is kind of a sad story because so much effort has been put into military systems and affairs, all because of human sin. And so we should recognize that these accomplishments of human beings and human society have a lot to say about our uh, capacities as people made in the image and likeness of God and also of our fallen state. And so I hope you enjoy the visit to the U.S. Air Force Museum, that you get a lot out of it. And I certainly am looking forward to being there for the third or fourth time. So I'll see you all early Tuesday morning, either at East Hall or perhaps at the museum. And let's enjoy the opportunity we have to go there. Take care. Bye bye.